extended run from the end of the first quarter. Clark again.
Boston into the corner. Mitchell is open and slashes home a three.
Remember when the Indiana Fever were just another team? Well, those days are over. Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston have turned this squad into a playoff nightmare, but how did they do it? Let's break down their incredible journey from rookies to superstars. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 9 to 8% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Let's focus on Boston's beast mode now. Recognize how some newcomers require time to get used to things? Not by her. Boston's transition from exciting rookie to formidable powerhouse is happening so quickly that it's causing rivals fits. What was her method? Get comfortable, because you are going to be astounded by her most recent performance.
For us, because we use that energy, we fuel for that, and it's always great to have those fans in the crowd.
Boston taking it inside. Feed to Smith, who buries a three.
We are talking about 5 assists, 13 rebounds, and 30 points. That's exceptional rather than merely good. Do you recall the season when Boston averaged 14.5 points and 8.4 rebounds? Yes, those figures now have a lovely look. She didn't just get better, she blew up. What's truly amazing though is how efficient she is. Boston made 11 of 16 field goals. Not only is her shooting impressive, but it also seems as though she is playing an easy video game. And from the free throw line as well, perfect. 8 to the 8. Consider yourself a defender attempting to stop her. What should you do if you can't let her shoot or foul her? What's even scarier, you know? Not all of Boston is scoring. She's also coming up with plays for her teammates. It's as though she has a cheat code implanted that improves everyone in her vicinity. She may be putting 30 on you 1 minute and setting up her teammates for easy buckets the next. How would you prepare for that? Even her amazing teammate Caitlin Clark is in shock. Clark remarked following the game, "She's all over the glass. Came up with clutch buckets, tied it for us solid in overtime." You know you're doing something right when Caitlin Clark is praising you. The fact is though that there are many excellent games in this category. This is about the development of Boston as a player. She isn't just achieving the hype, rather she is generating an entirely new degree of it. From a promising rookie, she has developed into a player who is making the opposing coaches nervous. Consider this, Boston's expansion has changed the Fever team as a whole. They've evolved into more than just a young, talented squad. They pose a risk, a significant one. Everyone's game is improved by Boston's presence on the court. The squad seems to revolve around her due to her strong gravitational attraction. Do you find Boston's metamorphosis particularly noteworthy? Just wait to see how Caitlin Clark is completely altering the Fever play. Clark is forcing the WNBA to adjust to her rather than the other way around, and for that reason, she really is a game changer. Let's take a moment to discuss numbers. In the game over the Dream, Clark scored 26 points, distributed 12 assists, and pulled down 5 rebounds.
This is an Indiana team that went 5-30 so far for Phoenix against Indiana. Boston goes flying.
The best part is that, in just her debut season, she matched the franchise record for double-doubles by the Fever. That's historically good, not simply good. However, Clark's influence extends far beyond the stat sheet. It appears as though she activated a turbo button for the entire team. The Fever are performing more quickly, deftly, and terrifyingly than ever. Clark has an incredible court vision. She's perceiving what are essentially unreal passing lanes. She appears to be playing chess when everyone else is engaged in checkers.
They make sure that the ball moves around until it gets back in the hand.
Honestly, like I'm just happy we won.
Do you know what's truly bizarre? Clark made a full court pass. She had what appeared to be eyes at the back of her head. The Dream believed they had the ball for a split second before Clark's teammate laid it in for a simple 2. That's the kind of play that makes the opposition scratch their brains and energizes the entire team. Let's also discuss Clark's endurance. She participated in the entire overtime period of that game. Every 45, Clark. Most players would be exhausted. She continued to shoot threes and drop dimes as if it were the first quarter. It is the kind of perseverance that brings home the hardware. What actually makes Clark unique, though, is her fierce competition. She wasn't soaking in the victory after the game. No, her attention was on the specifics. She remarked, "I thought a lot of the turnovers were unforced. That was not a backcourt violation." It's this level of focus on detail that distinguishes excellent players from exceptional ones. And even more absurd than that, you know? Boston and Clark are now the league's second best scoring duo. These two aren't simply excellent for inexperienced players. They're competing with the best in the league. They seem to have bypassed the rookie learning curve altogether and gone directly to league domination. The playmaking of Clark is revolutionizing the offensive play of the Fever. Her influence is making them more adept and quick players. She can efficiently set up teammates thanks to her court vision, which results in a dynamic and unpredictable style of play. She seems to have a sixth sense about where her teammates will be even before they arrive. The interesting part is that Clark isn't just improving her teammates, she's also adding excitement to the entire game. The energy in the arena changes each time she touches the ball, with everyone eager to see what she'll do next. Everyone is glued to their chairs. Will there be no pass, no look? A profound three. Take a car to the hoops. You can do anything with Clark. With his infectious charisma, Clark has enchanted everyone on the Fever roster. This team was an afterthought 2 months ago. Right now, the league is apprehensive since they have won 8 straight games. What caused this amazing reversal? The Fever seems to have turned on a switch. They are no longer the prey, they are the hunters, and they are not just winning matches, they are controlling the game. They have 8 victories in their last 10 games. That performance is championship caliber, not just good. What's really crazy though,
shove to try to get her arm free. That's why I'm putting it on both. Down, and Boston trying to be aggressive, not happy with the call whatsoever. Neither is Chrissy Sides.
the story is now about more than simply Boston and Clark. Everyone on the squad is doing better. Think of Kelsey Mitchell. Throughout August and September, she averaged a scorching 25 points per game, demonstrating her incredible play. And let's not overlook Lexi Hull. Her accurate shot is terrifying opponents. The Fever seem to have transformed overnight into a team of sharpshooters. What's actually changed? Do you know? The group's assurance. They now expect to win rather than merely wanting to. The finest way to sum up their victory over the Dream was when Clark remarked, "I'm proud of us because we felt like we were right there and played a pretty bad half. I felt that we persevered, chipped away, and performed admirably when it counted." That's the mentality that brings home the hardware. The Fever are no longer content to simply be present in the match. They think they can defeat everyone and are playing to dominate.
It's amazing. I think that's how we are with each other, though. We trust each and every person every single night to make the shot that they take. And
furthermore, what do you know? They could be in error. This team has unbelievable synergy. Instead of months, it feels like they have been playing together for years. Each player is aware of the precise location of their teammates, and they are making passes that confuse opponents. This is where things become really fascinating though. The Las Vegas Aces will be the Fever's toughest opponent to date. This is not your average game. Here's the Fever's time to show that they mean business. If they're able to compete, even defeat the Aces, that's when it will all have to be acknowledged. The Fever are serious competitors. Consider how absurd that is. The Fever were being written off as simply another rebuilding squad a few months ago. Right now, they are the playoff squad that no one wants to play against. They possess profundity, star power, and above all, the hunger that comes from being taken advantage of. There's an excitement in the air every time the Fever come onto the court these days, awaiting what magical move Clark will make next, or whether Boston will rule the paint once more. Fans are glued to their seats. However, it no longer only comes down to individual efforts. It matters how this team works together to find strategies for victory. And let's face it, that's what makes basketball in the playoffs so thrilling. It goes beyond talent alone. Which team can work together and execute well under duress is what matters. As demonstrated by the Fever, they can. They have demonstrated their ability to rally from significant deficits and perform well under pressure. So this is the query that everyone is posing. Is this a true Fever? Will they be able to maintain this momentum into the postseason?